Well, for more on this, I'm being joined by a global affairs analyst, Kunle Falowo, and he joins me from the United States of Indianapolis. Thank you very much for your time on the bulletin at this time. So what do you make of this development, and what do you see could this be leading to?
Thanks for having me. So it's pretty much a continuous chaotic situation after the invasion of Russia in Ukraine. We've been talking about this for quite some time now, and the war is taking so many turns and it's taking so many dimensions. Right now, we're looking at a counter-offensive from the Ukrainian side, which has been building up momentum for quite some time now. It's been a lot of promises from Western allies as far as ammunitions and weapons and trainings for Ukrainians on the soil during the battle with the Russian side. However, we're not very sure if the Ukrainians will be able to win or regain any territory that's been stolen from them from by the Russians. But as it is, there's a lot of expectations from Western allies, and in anticipation that they're supposed to be successful in the counteroffensive and win back some territory that's been taken by Russians. However, there's a lot of casualties. There's so many tactical weapons that the Russians have employed, and it created a lot of havoc and killed some people at different times, especially during the wee hours of the night, and then they strike and attack them. It's also very problematic for the doctors and medical practitioners in Ukraine because they have to deal with the aftermath of those that have been injured from attacks from the Russian side. So, however, altogether, we're looking at a reprisal or a counteroffensive from the Ukrainian side, and that will kind of change the trajectory of the war overall.
Indeed. But what other options do you think can be explored to broker peace between both sides, seeing the amount of casualty this has caused?
The only sensible way to kind of resolve this global crisis, especially talking about the war between Ukraine and Russia, will be dialogue. But that's really far-fetched because Vladimir Putin, Russian president, is very hell-bent on making sure that he takes over Ukraine and sees the entire country. Now, it's not going down well for Western allies because you're saying that that will spell or will further put the European corridor into more chaos, and we'll probably be having more crisis and invasions from other bigger countries if Russia does succeed in annexing Ukraine as they did the Crimea region in 2014. So we're saying, well, collectively, the entire Western democracy are saying that Russians are not supposed to get away with this, and that's why they're, heaping support on the Ukrainian side to make sure that they are successful in protecting their country.
And let's not forget the amount of humanitarian crisis this has caused. How do you think the international community can wade into this matter, or what's your assessment on how this thing has been handled so far?
Well, it's slow and steady. It takes a lot of financial commitment and obligations to help a country like Ukraine, especially in crisis situation like a war, which they're going through right now. Also, the United Nations and other countries and other organizations are really trying their possible best to ensure that they provide all the support, monetary support, medical supplies for military personnel, soldiers, and doctors on ground in Ukraine is working around the clock. I know for a fact that the United Nations have started seeking donations, international donations from people and countries, and the United States also have pledged another additional donations to support Ukrainians to win the war. So it's a gradual process, but there is so many things that is concerning. But we're proud and we are seeing that Western countries and Western democracies are up and doing, and they're doing their best to assist the Ukrainians.
All right, I just hope for the best and hope the two sides come to an agreement of perhaps to peace anytime soon. Kunle Falowo, appreciate your insights on the news at this time.
My pleasure.